What did you guys think about the House of the Dragon season 2 teaser trailer? It doesn't give
Dude,
away a lot, but I was still surprised to see that they managed to put in a little bit of blood and cheese. That's a
Yeah.
pretty big deal, you know. Helena,
yeah,
a bit of
what's up with
spoilery.
her, like, with her scars and shit in that scene? That's a little weird.
I just
They
think that cheese is
mess her
going
up.
to, yeah, I think just cheese is going to
Mm,
torture her. They made it even worse, I think. Yeah,
definitely
about that scene in general.
not
And
good.
by the way, guys, this episode is going to be full of spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything, this might not be the video for you. Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they present blood and cheese on television. Like, I have no need to see
Dude,
the beheading
I
and cutaway or something.
I
It's
love how
crazy.
was that that's supposed to be cheese, right?
That's cheese, yeah. That's
Yeah,
cheese.
yeah, yeah. Why does he looks like Robin Williams?
Yeah, I'm not ready. Me personally, I don't think I'm ready. It's Helena's my queen. I love it too much, man. Like, I know it's coming, but it's gonna hurt, bro. Like, she
Yeah.
doesn't deserve that shit. Like, it's
Like, since she has dragon dreams all the time, maybe she saw it coming.
I don't think I don't think so. But I definitely think that it's gonna trigger those dragon dreams even more. You know,
Yeah.
maybe this will become part of her losing it. You know, we know that she becomes depressed afterwards, but maybe
Yeah.
she has even more of those visions, and it's just it takes over. And I mean, how could that not traumatize you? It's like
Do,
it's the craziest thing ever.
do you think
yeah.
she'll get some action scenes? She rolls up in
Nah,
No,
freaking Tumbleton.
don't think
nah,
so.
no, I don't think so.
Nah, not after that, bro. Like, any
I
chance we've had
assume
to see her on Dragonback is gone. I
Yeah.
don't think it's happening. I mean,
I
maybe in episode like 1, maybe we might see her in Dreamfire, but
Oh, I'd
it's not.
love that. I'd love that. You
I,
know,
bro,
let's say that it's a really wholesome scene. You know, like Aegon II on Sunfire, which I need anyway. I definitely want to see
yes,
that.
facts,
Just
facts.
roaming around King's Landing, flying around King's Landing, and then behind him is Helena, and she's really wholesome. She's like fucking really happy about it, you know. And then
Bro,
the
imagine
episode
imagine if
ends
they
with
do
the worst thing ever.
imagine if they do the thing where like the kids are riding with her. You know how I think it was like Balon and Alyssa who took Viserys and Daemon on
Mm.
Dragonback when they were kids. Imagine if they do that. Oh my god.
Yeah, just to add another like punch to the gut.
Yeah, no, that'll be rough, man. That'll be
And it's
rough.
gonna happen in episode 1 right away. Like, the episode is called A Son for a Son. We've known that for a couple of weeks now, and it is gonna be in episode 1,
Mm.
which 0 to 100.
So we saw in the beginning Rhaenyra was at Storm's End, obviously looking for Luke's body. This is probably a few weeks later or whatever. Because she wouldn't have found out that soon. I mean, she found out in like the end of the season, but so she's was like also like at the end of the trailer they showed like a very very short like snippet of Rhaenyra on Dragonback,
Mm.
and they made it seem like she was like gonna fight Aemond or something, which is not gonna happen.
Nah.
It's not. We know we know how that's gonna turn out. It would not
Yeah.
happen. Okay.
Yeah.
That's obviously you can tell the clothing is the same, everything's the same. So that's probably when she's on her way to Storm's End.
Yeah.
yeah.
And she'll have this
So
moment of like, am I just going to burn Storm's End to the ground right then and there, or what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Like you can see that in her facial expressions already. But yeah, she's gonna find something, I think, because there's also a little shot of fishing people. And we also know, again, from leaks that this is going to be like they will find something, like a torn wing or whatever. It's gonna end up being
Oh, really?
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's good. I think they will have like a little funeral scene for Jacaerys, Lucerys, and
Yeah.
for Jacaerys.
Jacaerys.
He just fell down the dragon. And it's not, never he never even reached the Vale. Never even reached Eerie.
poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, also like in the actual like first clip, you can see there's like ash on her face and stuff. So something was burned. Something was burned.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I assume they're gonna try shove Rhaenyra into like a battle or two, right? Because
I
one of the
would
problems
definitely
with
do that.
Dance is like
Mm.
Rhaenyra doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of on the edge about that because like for the way I've always seen Rhaenyra and the way that her character is written is that she's definitely supposed to be the type of person who makes people fight her battles for her. At least in the books, that's the impression that you get.
Yeah.
But in the show, like I can't see Emma Darcy's Rhaenyra not doing
Yeah.
anything. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's not the energy that I'm getting. She's very, very much like in there. Whether she would be on Dragonback and fighting and stuff, I don't know. And also, I feel like people critique Rhaenyra for not fighting in battle. But I don't think it's really like because Cyrax is not like that. Sorry, not that great of a dragon.
Why are you sorry about that? But he
Freaking
gets the
mid.
most screen time, which makes no sense. Like, I mean, okay.
I love
it makes
Cyrax.
sense, but-
She's small. She's cute. I like her. But what is she gonna do? You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like what is she gonna do? So Rhaenyra, I give her a pass for not fighting on Dragonback because at the end of the day, if she dies on Dragonback, all of that was for nothing. You know.
I'd
So
still love to see it. I'd still love to see it because
Sure,
I think
sure.
just adds another like facet to her character.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
she's
And it doesn't
willing,
have
at
to
least
be-
willing to fight her own battles. You know.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
it could be like it could be a situation where she takes a battle where she knows it's only going to be infantry, where she's 100% certain that there isn't like another dragon or something.
Yeah.
It could be something like that where there is essentially no risk, you know, because
Right.
like we know, like Game of Thrones aside, scorpions are not particularly effective against dragons. You know, the chances of actually hitting a shot is like null. You know, so I can definitely see them doing something with Rhaenyra where, you know, maybe there's like a small skirmish somewhere on Dragonstone or whatever, and something. I really wouldn't mind that. I think that fits the character, or at least the one we have in the show. So yeah.
Yeah, it would just make her a more interesting character, in my opinion. Not that I'm just, I only like people who fight and fighters. It's not what makes it great, but in this conflict, it's just better. And, they might actually change that because in the trailer, at least the way I interpreted it, is that Baela actually participates in the battle at Rook's Rest. Because why else would she be screaming like that apart from seeing her grandma die?
Me personally, I think that's maybe just her venting after she finds out. Because remember, by this point, Moondancer was like barely like she was like the size of a small horse. Like she was barely big enough to ride. So I don't see why they would send her into a fight with another dragon, because she would get obliterated. So me personally, I think that scene where Baela's like screaming, I think that's just her like venting after finding out that Rhaenys died or something like that.
Or maybe she steals away,
Yeah.
She wanted to help.
Yeah.
Or maybe they even like Joffrey, like she's trying to fly away and they won't let her, and she's like, for example, Rhaenyra gets on Cyrex and stops her from joining the war. What else do you have on your notes?
Aegon looks amazing.
He does. He does.
Okay, let's before the allegations start. Aegon looks aesthetically amazing. Okay, his presentation.
No,
anyways,
he
back
does
to it.
look great. He does look
Yeah.
great. And I hope we get way more Aegon. Really, because there's not many chances to get a fully, 100% potential Aegon. Like 4 more episodes, and then that's it. Just gonna be very grumpy, ill.
Are we gonna get the we're getting the Regency this season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
That's
guy looking
Rook's Rest
better
is
on the crown.
episode 4. So We have at least like 3 or 4 episodes of Prince Regent Aemond. So
Nice.
that I'm excited to see.
Oh,
Is he
fuck yeah.
putting the
Aemond with a
crown
crown
on?
on. Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
I
Fuck
hope
yeah.
they make him. Like, I know
Yeah.
he doesn't do it in Farmblood, but I hope. Come on, like, just give him the crown.
Bro,
Just stop fucking. Come on.
have you
So-
seen
so-
have you seen that one artwork of like him with the crown on? I don't know if you know what I'm talking
Mm.
about, but if you've seen it, you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about. I kind of need it in my life, even if he's just like in his room, using it as like a prop, and he's like steals it from Aegon's room and goes
Just
and
have a
stands
scene.
in the mirror.
Have a scene of him
Just-
alone in his room where he puts it on, and then he just rejects it,
God.
and he never like.
That's all I
wears it in
need.
public.
It's all I need, bro.
But
Yeah.
it is a slow season, that is the thing. Like, people,
Yeah.
obviously, they were very dramatic, like yelling out. It was, oh my god, only 8 episodes. But if you look at it, it's just like we don't get the gullet this season. That is why we don't get Daron, because it just doesn't make sense to cram him in there right now. If
Yeah.
you have characters like Rhaenys who really need more time, more screen time before
Yeah.
she gets killed off. So, yeah. It's
Wait,
just
does
really slow.
Rhaenyra take King's Landing this season?
No.
No.
Oh,
no,
not yet.
No.
No.
No
Okay,
gullet,
so
no
the-
nothing. The season ends with Corlys Velaryon getting ready for the Battle of the Gullet.
Okay.
So it's just
Yeah.
like I bet it's one of those cliffhangers where big ass shot from above and those two fleets are about to collide, and then it's like, bam, fuck you, see you next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I hope they
I
do
did
something
see that they are-
interesting with the gullet.
Sorry,
'Cause,
say that again.
like,
Restart your sentence. Let's go again.
oh, okay. I was hoping they would do something interesting in season 3 with the gullet, because like they should be a little creative with that. I'm supposed to believe a couple bums from Triarchy is gonna shit on all the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely have to do a good job at that. It's the best sea battle that you will ever see
Yeah.
on television.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it'll be great. I like coming back to Daron. I know people were like freaking out about him maybe not being in this season, and we don't know that for sure.
But
there's
he will
always
be
still a
in the
chance.
show.
He will be in the
It
show.
will be in the show, yeah.
Like Ryan Condor has confirmed that he will be in the show. He's in the intro when the bloodline split off. He is there. Damon mentioned them having 4 dragons. It can only be Daron. Daron is gonna be in the show. Maybe not yet. And like you
George
said, Ricky,
said that as well.
I
Yeah.
really don't mind them giving some more screen time to some other characters, like let's say Ulf and Hugh Hammer and Rhaenys, and characters that are down the line not gonna have as much screen time.
They really take their time with it. Like, they cast Sir Alfred Broom already. Like, we have him in season 2, which just makes this whole thing way better in the long run. When his when he becomes a traitor, when that all of that happens, it has a real impact. It has a real impact, and yeah, take your time. I wouldn't mind a scene of there's another cat.
Another cat.
She hasn't been home in 2 days, guys.
No
I'm
way.
sorry. I'm gonna have to just give me a.
Fuck yeah. Fuck your cat. I would have liked to see a scene of him in Old Town, see the inside of like the Hightower, and obviously you could have had Hobart Hightower there, and it's a little bit of plotting, just adds another place, but that could still come in season 3, which, think about it, really, it's just season 2.5, kind of like one season, because there's no real ending of season 2 if you don't do the fall. If there's no cut. If anything, if they really do the Battle of the Gullet, like they started right when it's about to start, right when we end the season, and it's just a continuation. So there's still time. I think characters like Rhaenys desperately need screen time. I wasn't a fan of her character in season 1, and I want to see her go out on a big bang at least.
Yeah.
Another thing that like people need to remember is that like when it comes to cutting out 2 whole episodes, I've mentioned this before to you guys, but you get like extra budget that you could use for CGI, for example, and stuff. And like that's a big deal because the thing is, like, even now, I often look back at like some of the scenes in House of the Dragon, and while the CGI for the most part is like really, really fucking good, there are still some scenes where like, it's okay, you know. And the thing is that with CGI especially is that it needs to be perfect because even if it's a little bit bad, it's not believable. And the thing is, it's forever. You know, they're not going to do a re-release in 30 years with better CGI.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to happen.
Look,
So
I prefer worse CGI if I can get words are wind.
Oh, that is
okay,
definitely
dude.
gonna come. Yeah.
Okay, dude. All right. Okay, bro. This motherfucker. The only thing you want. The only thing you want. Words are wind. Oh my God.
Words are wind.
I should have known it was coming, bro.
Yeah, but you're
But yeah,
right.
like, yeah.
Separating the Rook's Rest, the Battle of Rook's Rest, and the Battle of the Gullet, you know, to 2 different seasons only benefits the CGI in those scenes.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
eventually, that is gonna become a problem. Maybe, you know, Battle of Honeywine, Tumbleton, and this is
Yeah.
endless.
I mean,
Hamilton
season. The thing is, I could honestly see them going for 5 seasons the way that's going now. I think it's unlikely, but I do kind of hope they do go for 5 seasons because I would definitely like to see the aftermath of the dance. That's one of my favorite parts of Fire and Blood, is everything that happens after the war is finished. Like the whole thing with like Baela and like I mean after Aegon is killed. Like that it's such a like politically like interesting part of Fire and Blood for me. So I would love to see that on screen, even if it's not like, you know, full season or whatever. But yeah, like I really do hope they take their time.
Can't wait for Boros to fight the Muppets.
Yeah. Oh man.
Season 5.
Season 5.
And we're definitely gonna get
Season
Roger
3's
Evans back on.
finale for season 3 is the Boros versus the Vulture King.
Yeah.
Big
facts.
battle.
Facts.
Speaking
yeah, that's what I
about
wanted to
other
say. That's sorry.
Speaking about other places, we also have a glimpse. We get a little shot of the Night's Watch in the trailer, which Jace and Cregan Stark are going to visit in this season. That's gonna be the White Walker thing that we talked about. I think, you know, them implementing the others in House of the Dragon as well. And you don't know what the Pact of Ice and Fire was really about, so I don't mind them making something like this up if it adds a few bits and pieces that George might have, you know, told Brian. If it's something from the books, you know, it's like, hey, by the way, the White Walkers are doing this and that. Little clues about why they are here would be greatly appreciated, because we didn't get that in Game of Thrones. Also, by the way, the very first scene, the very first shot of House of the Dragon season 2 is gonna be a raven flying to Winterfell. So right away we have we're gonna get a different vibe, because, you know, obviously King's Landing, Driftmark, Dragonstone, that was all we saw in season 1, and now there's more places. Got all of that from Wake the Dragon and Song of Ice and Fire, by the way, on Twitter. They're doing an amazing job. Yeah, they're always spot on their leaks. Definitely go check them out.
We also saw Addam of Hull, played by, I think it was Clinton Liberty.
Yeah, Clinton Liberty.
Very, very excited for Addam. Fucking love the guy. And Alan as well. Alan, also one of my favorite characters. People were saying that you know, there was that shot of Cyrax and Sea Smoke sort of standing off, and people thought that was Laenor coming back.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't think so.
No,
That's
that's
just
confirmed to be Addam of Hull, and it's
yeah.
I think it's
We
the
had said
opening
leaks
scene
from
of
that like
episode 7.
very, very long ago.
So Laenor going away will sever the link, or would he have to die?
That is
I think
something.
yeah. I think he's
Good.
dead. I think Rhaenyra is gonna get like a letter or something saying that he's dead. Maybe. I think she's
Yeah.
gonna find out at some point. And I think that standoff between Addam and Rhaenyra is probably just because they could do a thing where, like, for example, I'm just trying to like rationalize this, but maybe Addam was the first dragon seed before Jace even came up with the idea. And let's say Addam claimed Sea Smoke before they were allowed to, right? And Rhaenyra was having a standoff with him because who the fuck does this guy think he is, you know? And only after that does Jay say, okay, well, maybe this could be a thing, you know? So that's what I might be thinking. Or he was part of the plan and it was all planned, and maybe Rhaenyra and Addam just had a sort of very large disagreement because we know what's going to happen. The two of them are not very good friends. So it might just be that they're sort of planting the seeds of that conflict for the future. But it's definitely not Laenor. It's definitely, and some people were saying that it's Helena and Dreamfire, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Clearly,
First off, Dreamfire would be way bigger than that. She's like 80 years old. And secondly, what the fuck would Helena be doing on Dragonstone? It doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yeah. I think you're spot on, because the shot of Addam of Hull looking up to Sea Smoke is in episode 2 already, and there's no seeds planted there.
Yeah,
you know, there's no
because they said
sowing.
I know they said the dragon seed stuff is going to happen late in the season, right?
Yeah, it's one of the the final things, and I like them taking their time with it.
Yeah,
Great idea, I think. It's really interesting. What is what is it like to bind a dragon? You know,
I'm very excited for that. I'm very, very excited for that because like in the books we don't really get a lot of that, you know. Surprisingly, we have Dany who's POV, but it's presented as the sort of, there's not much there, you know. She's holding on for dear life pretty much, you know. There's at least at the point where Dany is, you know, she's still young, Drogon's still young, but there isn't that like magical connection yet. It's really just her fucking going along with him. So I'm really, really interested to like see a bit more of that and like how that happens.
And I appreciate it, because House of the Dragon season 1 already started this, you know, with like no Vhagar, you know. Even though we make memes, we make fun of it, that could potentially be very interesting, you know. How strong is the bond, and what helps it, and all of that. I'm really intrigued to see how this goes, and apparently Rhaenyra is gonna take over Jace's part in a way. She is the one who looks after all the dragon seeds, helps them, and that's apparently something.
It's possible actually, because I mean, if they're going to be spending more time with Jace and Cregan Stark, and they want to have Jace up there for a bit longer, give them more screen time, it's possible that Rhaenyra would be the one to sort of helm that idea. It also, I mean, the whole thing with the dragon seeds, the entire point of that thing is that it was never a good idea. It is the idea of a 15-year-old boy, you know. Giving, for example, Silverwing and Vermithor, two of the biggest dragons, to people who have absolutely zero loyalty to you is not a good idea in any way, you know. So it does also seem to me like a decision that Rhaenyra could make, because she has been shown to be sort of a bit stupid sometimes, you know. She can definitely, she gets an idea maybe and she thinks that, okay, this is the thing, you know, but it's just gonna backfire on her. Like that definitely seems like something that Rhaenyra could do. Sure, bless her heart, you know, I love her, but I mean, fuck, girl.
What else is there in the trailer?
Alicent at a lake.
Oh, Yeah, what what is it about Alicent at the lake? What was
I
that
think it's a
about?
dream. I think it's a dream.
Hmm.
I can't think of anything else. Like I've looked at the screenshot. Okay, wait. Pause.
I did too.
Let's okay.
Yeah,
I was
damn!
I was I was looking at the surroundings, okay,
Yeah,
and I was
me
trying to
too.
figure. So I was like looking at the surroundings and trying to like figure out, is this like Blackwater Bay or something? But it's definitely a lake. Like
Hmm.
it's. I thought like maybe Harrenhal. She's not at Harrenhal. She has no.
Dazai?
Yeah, no, that's why. Like, she has no reason to be there. Daemon is basically gonna be there in episode 1, so I think personally it's just a dream sequence. I think she's gonna like walk into the water and like drown, and then it's gonna cut back to, some other scene. Because I mean, like dreams and stuff are like a pretty big thing in A Song of Ice and Fire. I don't think it's like, I know D&D were like, oh, we don't want to do dreams and flashbacks and blah blah blah. But I mean, at the end of the day, dreams and flashbacks are intrinsic to A Song of Ice and Fire. They are in
Yeah.
the books. It is something that happens. So I would definitely like to see Alicent's character being explored through like dreams, for example. Like that could be very, very cool. Because I don't know why else she would be standing there. Like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you there?
Yeah.
Because like she doesn't go anywhere for the rest of the dance except the Red Keep.
Jaehaerys' death will definitely have a huge impact on her,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it could just be something, a dream that she has after
Mm.
it happens in episode 1. Also, there that shot, that very beautiful shot of Helena where she's looking up to the sky. I think that's when she's about to have a vision.
Mm.
Mm.
I hope so. I would love to see like a dragon dream like visualized on screen. That would be so fucking cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so cool.
Very vivid thing,
Yeah.
Very colorful. That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the King's Lion. King's Lion. Wow.
King's Lion.
Wow, the King's Lion. Interesting. We saw the King's Landing riots.
Mm. And Hugh Hammer.
I'm not exactly.
amongst.
Yeah, he was there for some reason. But I'm still sort of slightly confused about when exactly what's happening, because there is the parade where Maelysa's head is brought back from Rook's Rest, and then there's also the parade, well, not parade, but the funeral, right? And what?
The parade for Jaehaerys' death. Jesus. Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyways,
Can't ever take anything serious. It's fictional. It's fictional.
It's fictional. It's not real. It's not real people, guys. But yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out when the riot happens. Is it? I feel like it's probably Maelys, because I don't understand why the like common folk would be like rioting after a child gets murdered, But later in the season, after 4 episodes, for example, after the gullet is closed off and they don't have any food, that could make sense. And maybe Maelys's head being fucking like paraded in front of them is just like the last straw.
But then again, Maelys, like judging by House of the Dragon logic, which obviously I hope there is a logic to Rhaenys killing all those civilians, it would make more sense if they were, just happy when that fucking head is paraded through the streets.
Exactly, yeah. And also,
it's really
the shots of Alicent during the riots, she's wearing the same clothes that she was during the funeral. And Alicent, why would Alicent be present while the head is being drawn back to the Red Keep? It doesn't make sense. So
it's gonna be at the funeral, but what?
It has to be, but I don't know why they would be rioting, because at that point the gauntlet hasn't been closed off for like an obscene amount of time, maybe a few weeks max, but there should be enough food. And I mean, they wouldn't be mad at maybe.
I'd love to see propaganda being used by both sides.
Because especially because Rhaenyra, like she was down there when she was 14, and she saw the shows that were being put on about her and stuff. So she could be using that, for example, in like theater plays and stuff, spreading propaganda through Flea Bottom. That could be pretty cool, I think.
Paying all the mummers.
Facts.
The
Yeah.
Mummer's farce.
Mummer's farce. Yeah.
It's mummer seasons, man.
It's mummer season.
It's mumming time.
It's mumming time.
Yeah, I love when Ramen Mandalay said it's mumming time, and then he ate the phrase.
And then he mummed all over the place. Favorite part of A Song of Ice and Fire.
The fiery ice.
Yeah, the
wind
firing
that
ice.
seldom blows him back.
Yeah, words are wind. Yeah,
Words are wind.
words are wind. Yeah.
They should just hire Stephen Delane to play some random person.
I think they should get Stephen Delane to do the motion capture for Vhagar.
Bro, Stephen
I think that
Lane
would be
would
perfect.
make an
I think that would be
amazing,
perfect.
an amazing
I think so
Unwin
too.
Peak.
Ooh,
Stephen Delane would make
yeah.
an amazing
Oh
Unwin
yeah.
Peak.
I mean, he
Yeah.
could do anyone well. Let's be honest. I
Yeah,
mean,
he'd be a great
Considering Sir Hugh of the Vale plays the Lannisters, why can't
Yeah.
Stephen Delane come back? I get Sir Hugh is a slightly smaller character. Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, I don't think anyone remembers Sir Hugh of the Vale's
Sir
face,
Hugh.
but
Just so happens that I do remember him.
Dude, I love
uh,
like Sir Hugh actor is in everything. He's in Oppenheimer too. He's
Yeah.
just in-
yeah. I was so surprised when I saw him. I was like, I know that guy. I know that guy. Just like a slight tangent, like to go on. Can we talk about how like awesome Tyland Lannister is? One of my favorite characters in the dance. He's not exactly like a good guy, but me personally, he was like one of my like most enjoyable characters to read about because
Yeah.
it did feel like he was just trying to do the right thing. Not always, but most of the time, you know. It did really feel like he was just trying to keep everything afloat, you know, because
love
he
how-
wasn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love how Aegon III sat by his side
Yeah.
when he died. You know, that's a really wholesome scene. Because,
Yeah.
You know, we all we read about Aegon is like he's sad, he's depressed all the time, but he still goes out of the way to, you know,
Mm,
make this guy feel
yeah.
not alone like he is during his
Mm.
last moments. Just really,
Mm.
really nice scene.
Yeah, and that's why I really want like the aftermath of the dances so we can see stuff like that, you know, because that's like, you know, because we wouldn't see Corley's or Alicent's death in the show at all if they didn't do the aftermath.
Wallace's
Right?
death is so goofy.
It is pretty goofy, but
It
at
is
the
so
same
fucking
time, like
goofy.
I feel like it's kind of, I mean, he was like pretty old, and like there was a sickness and there was a thing, so I mean it's he probably
It's
should have
stupid.
died a bit cooler, but yeah.
The
I mean,
sea snake,
if we're gonna
like a
talk about
step
goofy
snake,
deaths,
stepstones, like he's tripped over the stepstones. man.
if we're
Is
gonna
that
talk
trying
about
to be
goofy
poetic,
deaths,
or-
Daeron had a tent fall on him, bro.
yeah.
Like, I'm
Can't
sorry,
go wrong, man. Ah,
George, but he was not cooking. Okay,
yeah. That's
he
what I was
was not
saying.
cooking.
Like when people take this so seriously, like they've changed this from Fire and Blood. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank fuck they did. Because
Yeah,
Fire and Blood
thank
is
fuck, bro.
like, Fire and
Yeah.
Blood is decent. It's a good read, and it's like fascinating from time to time. I think Jaehaerys' reign was beautifully written. Aegon III was beautifully written. Maegor, oh my god, I devoured those pages. But all in all, man, it's not that great. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not
dude.
on the Song of Ice and Fire's level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
there's-
gotta. Yeah,
Okay.
like you got a lot of suspension of disbelief to have to blow like a 30 dragon lead.
yeah, yeah, no, and I think that was to some extent intentional. I think George wanted to do something that was a bit different. He wanted to make you question and wonder, and I do like the idea of unreliable narrators and presenting the story in a relatively biased way. You know, I think it's a good idea, but I think in execution there are definitely some things which need to be like, we have to be for real, you know. And
yeah,
if
that puts it
if something
perfectly.
isn't satisfying to read, it's like, but okay, I don't know about you guys, this is not to do with the teaser whatsoever, just between us. I think Jaehaera killing herself was the most unnecessary thing I've ever read in a book.
Mm.
I think that was so incredibly unnecessary, right? Helena jumps out of a window, fucking kills herself, right? Understandable. She's been through so much.
Hell.
She's lost, like, literally. I can understand why Jaehaera would be depressed. Aegon III is as well. But George had an opportunity to give us a relatively satisfying ending to the dance in the two sides, at least putting like the past behind them and having some sort of jointness there. Because at the end of the day, Jaehaera and Aegon III didn't have any beef. They were children, you know? And then Jaehaera just fucking kills herself. And then I'm just like, why? Why? You know, that was
Also,
really, I think that was the only time I've ever been frustrated with George R. R. Martin. You know, it's the only time I've been like, that was not well written, you know? And if she died by some other manner, like, okay, maybe. But dying the same way her mother did, like a year later or 2 years later, is like, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
For me, like, I also wish Addam sticks around. Like, you know, he put in all that effort to be like, yeah, let's go sicko mode. What happens? Like, fucking Oberyn. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, it's okay to let them live. All right, dude. He was trying to do something cool. Let them have the moment. All right, you don't have to be edgy every time.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot to like about Fire and Blood. You know, it's a great book, and I think 90% of the book is like perfect, but the Dance of the Dragon specifically is quite messy. And I don't know if that was intentional, because the Hightowers were so involved and the Maesters wanted to present it in that way, you know. But I feel like that's
it's
so
such a
incredibly
excuse, because here we are.
Exactly.
Like,
That's
oh my
such
God.
an obscure
No, you don't like something from House of the Dragon?
Oh well, the Maesters.
Well,
yeah,
the Maesters. It's biased.
Yeah, no, that's one thing which makes the discourse around this show so incredibly difficult, is because when you say, oh well, something it was different in the books, then whichever side needs it for their argument can just say, oh well, the books are biased.
Yeah, and also like Song of Ice and Fire is so complex, and then you have this very stereotypical contrast of black and white. You know, you're team blacks, I'm team greens, and it's all. It's just not how I view the story. To me, they're all responsible for all of the tragedy, and they brought their own house to doom, or at least set it up, and that's what makes it so beautiful, like the story itself.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything.
All in all, I really liked the teaser trailer. Did everything it was supposed to do, getting people hyped, and it was just so good. We were starving. Didn't get anything for a year now, at least. And yeah, I really liked it. And we shall see when we will get the next one. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care, subscribe, and see us later.
Do y'all have this in America?
It looks like it's Did you see that?
I just see it sticking up, bro.
It's like